reversing the roles right now. How
Right.
would you speak to yourself 6 months prior to what just happened to you? How would you in your current mind speak to your current self in 15 seconds?
So what I would say to myself is, buckle up. You got 6 months to a year. You don't have any kids, so you're probably going to be done in 6 months.
No, your thought process. What are you going to go through?
Oh, no, it's a roller coaster.
What have you gone through?
It's a roller coaster.
What emotions did you go through?
Man, I went through everything. So I went through what you went through. So the first part was denial. Oh, this is not really happening. This is not really happening. This can't be happening. Why is this happening? I chased why for a good month. But inside that why, I said, something's not right here. She kept telling me she wasn't with somebody. And then I did my own private investigation inspired by you, and then, multiplied. And I heard it. And I heard her. And I heard situations that I should have never heard. And it was like, wow. So the person that I thought that I was with, who I thought, because you're open. And when you're married, at least for me, the way that I thought about it, I would tell her, I'm like, I waited my entire life for you. So for me to know that this is a lie, and then it was devastating. And then when I learned that she was gaslighting me, that she was telling me one thing, doing something else, and it was intentional, like,
yeah, but that just causes anger. That just causes anger.
So it caused anger.
It goes from her to anger.
But I got coaching immediately, and I got people around me that just like you had gone through a divorce, and that was every day I was venting. Anybody that would ask me, I would tell them the truth.
I would have never known anything any different.
Never. You had no idea. I had no idea that I was going to go through that. That's why I'm saying that you planted the seed. And unintentionally. But your spirit, we're friends. Your spirit spoke to mine, and it was like, hey, dude, you should be looking out for this, because you don't know, this is not on your radar. And it wasn't on my radar. I'm somebody who works with a lot of people. I study behavior. I'm an expert, I would think, inside behavior. And yet I couldn't see her because I was so close. So when I separated, I see things now in slow motion, and I can see every little nuance, every little gaslight that she did. Because I started
now you've separated yourself.
Yeah. And I was writing a journal at the same time.
Your face was in the shit.
In the shit.
Yeah.
But I started writing a journal, because she would tell me that I said something and I said no. So I started writing it because I'm going, maybe I'm losing it. And when she would say it during the relationship, I'd be like, I didn't say that. I wrote it down.
That's the most genius thing you've ever done.
She looked at me like, what? And I was like, yeah, I wrote it down. I actually did this. This is what I did. I wrote it down that same day, that same moment.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So, but she was gaslighting me. You have to
start writing shit down.
She was gaslighting me. Well, for her, I don't know. We can go into it for a lot. So, but for me, what I got out of it, and if I were to say something to somebody that was about to go through divorce, the first thing I would say is, do you have kids? Because if you don't have kids, get a paralegal. Resolve it between you two, square it off, and get a paralegal. Don't spend the $30,000, $10,000 retain, whatever the retainers are. Don't do that. It started off with love.
Get to a personal place where you tell each other, listen, it's gonna.
What do you want?
It's over.
What do you want?
It's over.
Yeah.
Let's discuss.
How do we do this?
What do you want? Let me tell you what I want.
Yeah.
Let's try to meet in the middle.
And let's make it on paper.
And let's get it done between us. Yeah. So we don't give the attorneys all the money.
Because it's just
going to cost us money.
My initial encounter with the attorneys was, this is my retainer. And I was like, all right, well, do I have a choice when you charge or not charge? Or do I have a choice? Can I do things to make it less expensive? And they said, well, it's the legal system. If she writes or if I have to answer an email,
it's going to cost
you. And I was like, but you're $450 an hour. How do I not have a say in it?
All
if I take my car to a mechanic,
phone calls are
you're a mechanic.
Documented.
You're a mechanic.
Yeah.
You're not going to fix my car until you tell me how much it costs.
Yeah.
And then I have a choice. But it's not, you don't have a choice. Now you're taking advantage of the person.
I understand the way attorneys work though.
Yeah.
Because now in my industry, my role has changed to the point where I'm like an attorney.
Yeah.
I tell you, listen, it could cost $15,000 or it could cost $50,000.
Yeah.
If you're in it to win it, shake my hand. And if I tell you it's $50,000 later, you have to pay the $50,000. And every hour that I work is X per hour. But I don't work on a quote.
You do high-end vehicles. It's a pro and a con. But my point was that there wasn't any integrity there. And I didn't know that I had choices. It wasn't until I started consulting other people that were consulting with other people that had gone through a divorce that I learned my options
resources.
And had those resources. And they're like, if you can work it out with her. And I'm like, yeah, I can work it out with her. The one thing that she was great about was that when we talked, we were honest with each other. And that's what we fulfilled on. I mean, there was a lot of lying in between. At least we reached.
She was honest with me, even though there was a lot of lying in between.
No, she talked to me, even though she had ulterior motives. Even though she played the part of an angel and was deceiving and causing betrayal.
The ultimate conversation was honest.
Yeah, the ultimate intention was honest because I followed it up with paperwork and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? I would always do an email. I always do that. Guys, that's super important. Whenever you communicate with somebody that doesn't want to be with you, make sure you have text messages. Make sure you take pictures. Make sure that you learn the laws of your state. Make sure that you email, that there's a paper trail, because it becomes he said, she said. And regardless of the fact, especially if you have kids, it gets pretty crazy. So just be mindful that everything should be covered. You should have it recorded one way or another.
And there's a very important term. It's called, if it isn't written, it isn't true.
It isn't true.
Divorce isn't the end, it's your new beginning. Join Divorce the First 6 Months on Patreon for informative episodes, expert advice, and supportive resources. Visit patreon.com/divorce the first 6. Learn what to expect from the divorce process